Tonight we want to tell you about a new series we're beginning called Alabama Champions. It's highlighting people who make a difference right where they live. Not much happens these days at the old Powderly Elementary School. It's been closed since 2011, but a group of Powderly alums have been quite busy, inspired by the connections they made all the way back when they were in school. Now they're on a mission to help revitalize the community. ABC 3340's Ariel Clay explains.
Okay, so this was the lunchroom here?
Had the best cinnamon rolls.
It's been decades since this group of men attended class at Powderly Elementary School. So it's kind of surprising just how vivid their memories of the place still are.
This is Miss Austin's class.
And what did she teach?
She taught music.
Powderly was special to them. That's why they remember. And that's why almost 55 years later, they've band together to create the Men of Powderly.
I had gone to about 6 funerals, and I called Lavin and I told him, I said, we need to start seeing each other and stop viewing one another so much.
It started with a small reunion at a local restaurant, but the men figured, why not do more?
What can we do to revitalize? What can we do to bring back the community that has given us so much?
In the years since they left Powderly, things haven't gone great for the community. The men think they can help change that. They've hosted clothing and food drives, had a toy giveaway, and one of their favorite events, a Valentine's Day dance for seniors.
Do little things to try to bring a sense of pride back into the neighborhood.
They've also spearheaded cleanup efforts. And although many have moved away from the neighborhood.
So by a show of hands, how many of you still live in Powderly? Just one of you?
One long-term goal is to improve housing.
Bringing in quality homes for families. Most of us have moved out, but we still have that passion for the community because this is where we grew up.
And where their hearts will remain. In Birmingham, Ariel Clay, ABC 3340 News.
How about that? Right now that group has about 30 members. They operate mostly off of donations.
Something as small as a breakfast or a handwritten note can help change a life or even give one a new start. That's the case for one homeless man and a Birmingham police officer who forged a friendship through hardship. ABC 3340's Ariel Clay introduces us to this Alabama champion.
Another really nice person.
It's important to Brian Roth that Birmingham police officer Rod Malden sees his new apartment. It's proof of his progress.
I was homeless and I was penniless and I was struggling really bad.
This is where he was sleeping at the time.
It was here in the midst of that struggle that Officer Malden found Roth while on his overnight patrol.
Something on my heart just told me to go back and check on the guy. I wanted to get to know him, know his story, so I bought him breakfast and I took it back to him.
That meal, a simple gesture, has led to this, a budding friendship between the two men.
Once he came over and he gave me that sandwich, I mean, he just showed me some love.
But it didn't stop there. A few weeks later, they ran into each other again. This time, Roth had found work on a construction site.
He was doing well, and he was still on the streets at the time. So I asked him, could I pray with him at that time?
I was just shocked because I'm not used to too many people wanting to pray with me, let alone somebody of his caliber, and a police officer at that, but it was touching.
A handwritten note was delivered to Malden soon after that shared prayer.
The letter was just to let him know that the way he treated me really makes a difference.
And this time, it was the officer's turn to be touched.
So that just made me proud.
A few words to tell Malden thank you for seeing him as a person and now as a friend. In Birmingham, Ariel Clay, ABC 3340 News.
And that's what it's all about. Malden says one of the biggest issues in Brian getting a job was he didn't have identification. He says it's actually a problem for a lot of homeless people and hopes to get more people the tools they need. The death of a Hoover Marine in Afghanistan could have been the final chapter in his life story. His mother, however, had other plans for her son's legacy. She now uses it as inspiration to change the world for others. ABC 3340's Ariel Clay introduces us to this Alabama champion.
It's like turning the clock back 4 years.
It's still not walking, but it does open up all those avenues to me again.
To be clear, Ben Hoffmeister is using avenues metaphorically here. What he means is this track wheelchair has opened up all the dirt trails and babbling brooks he once loved to frequent, once dreamed of exploring with his 3 boys.
As the kids were getting older, I was getting a little upset that I was never going to be able to share that experience with them.
The Special Forces veteran suffers from multiple sclerosis, which drastically reduced his mobility. So it's a real joy to have this all-terrain chair to give him freedom that was quickly fading.
They have a sense of freedom that they have not had usually in a number of years.
Sharon Rivers founded the organization Support Our Soldiers, which through a partnership with Applebee's restaurant donates the chairs to veterans. So far, they've given away 24. The chairs are the biggest item the group gives away, the flashiest. But these boxes are where it all began. Every other week, Sharon and a group of volunteers gather to pack up socks and snacks, toiletries, games, and magazines, and in every single care package, a little booklet.
About our son, his life story and his about his death.
Sharon is a Gold Star mom. Her son was killed while serving in Afghanistan. She could have crumbled under that grief, but instead directed her sadness into service.
He always enjoyed receiving boxes, and after he was killed, we just felt the need to maybe help the soldiers that were still left that were in his platoon.
And once they returned, the care packages didn't stop. Sharon estimates she sent about 700 of them to soldiers, most going out during the holidays.
My number one thing after he was killed was I didn't want people to forget him. I didn't want his memory to be gone, so I wanted to keep it alive.
Mission accomplished. In Hoover, Ariel Clay, ABC 3340 News.
The Applebee's fundraiser that supports the track wheelchair donations begins today, November 1st. For the entire month of November, all proceeds from the brownie or blondie desserts will go to the Track Chair Fund.
A lot of young people dream of being the next big star, but may not know exactly what it takes to make it in the music industry. And one UAB professor hopes to change that.
He's offering a unique technology program with the goal of exposing students to the world of music and all it has to offer. ABC 3340's Ariel Clay introduces us to this Alabama champion.
From the summertime blues to catchy love songs.
Lately you've been on my mind.
Productions like these are giving Birmingham middle and high school students a unique opportunity to explore music and technology.
Many young people want to be the next Kanye or Jay-Z or you name it, and they really just won't recognize what it takes to go into the industry.
Or the variety of careers that exist in music. UAB's Dr. Henry Panion is the perfect person to educate them. The composer and conductor has worked with the likes of Stevie Wonder and Aretha Franklin. He also owns and operates Audio State 55, a recording studio in Woodlawn. It's where he runs his music technology program for grade school students.
I think it's probably the most important thing that we do.
The program teaches students how to make beats, record, sing, perform, and make music videos. It sees 250 Birmingham City School students attend weekly as a part of their curriculum.
It was just a really, really great experience.
Raven Horn attended the program's summer session. She wants to be a gynecologist, but says that Audio State opened her eyes to other ways she could express herself.
Basically, they showed me music in a new light. Something I've never seen before.
For other success stories, Panion points to two of his particularly ambitious students who have both recently received a prestigious award.
They ended up getting 2 of the Bill and Melinda Gates Millennial Scholar Fellowships.
Meaning their tuition and housing are covered up to the PhD level. But Panion says he's doing this for more than just the accolades. It's to make sure students in Birmingham can compete with the rest of the world. In Woodlawn, Ariel Clay, ABC 3340 News.
The music tech program during the school year is free. The one during the summer months has a fee. If you're interested, you can visit woodlawnmusictech.org.